We could change your life.
I made this show because there is a lack of connection with one another.
We could change your life.
Stories that inspire and motivate. It's about being able to connect to other people's plights or struggles.
You can change your life.
Real people, real stories. Watch the show and allow me to show you are not the only one going through your struggle. There are people out there ready to make a change. Are you ready?
So, Katie, you are here, right? You're at the Complete Beauty Bar, but you didn't start here. You didn't start at this location.
No.
You are like bring it all back. How did it start?
How did it start? In the beginning, there was two of us. It was me and a friend. We were supposed to open a salon.
Mm-hmm.
I sewed hair. She was the hairstylist. I knew nothing about hair. Something happened. She kind of flaked on me, and I was stuck with a building. And I just
Wait, you guys signed a lease together?
I signed a lease. So I was stuck with the building. So I just had to do what I had to do. And I'm here.
So you signed a lease. Was there a particular reason why you decided to sign the lease by yourself instead of, because you guys started off as two, and then but you went ahead and signed the lease by yourself?
Well, I think I always sewed hair. She did hair for everyone in high school. And I guess I was just a little more business minded, so I wanted to take it to another level, and I just went for it. I guess looking back, I should have definitely signed. That's something, if you're getting into business with somebody, you should definitely both be equally responsible.
Now, from that aspect, like did you know how to like sign up for a lease? Like how did you find out like what you needed to do in order to get the building under yourself?
When I first started, I had a consultant help me. They helped me find my first location, and I found the place that I was at next to TSU. But looking back on that, it was a little janky because I ended up signing a lease that wasn't good.
What wasn't good about it?
So there was one stipulation that if the owner ever sold the building, I would have to get out within 2 months. I was new to this. I didn't know. So I was just happy to have had a location, and I was ready to jump full forward. And they sold the building, and I had 2 months to get out.
Wow. So starting off, you said you found a consultant. Is this like a lease consultant, or like who is this?
It was a business consultant.
A business consultant. Okay. So would you recommend somebody that is interested in starting their own beauty salon to get a business consultant?
Not necessarily get a business consultant. I definitely do your due diligence. Read up about it. YouTube. You can learn a lot. Just do as much research as possible. A lot of times, I think consultants can just take your money. I think if you do your due diligence on your own, the information is out there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, speaking of information that's out there, a lot of people have the idea that they're going to start a business. The first thing that they want to do is get a name. How did you come up with the idea for Complete Beauty Bar?
I don't know. I think it just kind of came to me. I do know that, like I said, I was the person selling the hair, and my friend was going to be the person doing the hair. So it needed to be complete, the hair and the stylist, which worked out because once I did open, then I thought of a lash tech, esthetician. So it's like a one-stop shop. We even have a barber. So you come in, and you and your man can come in and both walk out feeling brand new.
So what I'm hearing is choose a name that you can grow with in the context of your
Yes,
business. You don't want to
yes.
choose something that, okay, hair salon, and all you do is hair. You do multiple different things. So Complete Beauty Bar, great name. Now, that being said, there's different way. There's LLCs, there's, corporations and stuff like that. What route did you end up going?
I did do a LLC. I had a friend that was a lawyer. He suggested that to me. And what that does is protect you, especially in this line of business. If something were to go wrong, let's say you're curling a client's hair and you accidentally burn them. Some people will just take the apology, but another person may want to, look at it as dollar signs and say this person burned me, sued you. What an LLC does is protect you. They can only sue and take what's in the business. If you don't have an LLC, they can come after your house, they can come after your car, all your personal belongings.
Wow.
So it's very important to get an LLC.
So it's like this kind of reminds me of like the kitchen beauticians, right? Nothing against them because we all know
Right.
people that do, hair out of their house. But the kitchen beauticians essentially aren't protected if they don't have an LLC.
No.
Doing business as, Chantel down the street that just knows how to do hair.
Right.
That's okay. So
Right.
liability. So from a risk factor, certain things that can potentially happen in the course of owning a business salon. Clients can get burned. I mean, I'm thinking like hair, right? What if their dye job comes out? Like, speaking of, and this is a shameless plug, you colored my hair. I love this color. People compliment it all the time. But that being said, I've seen people that have like a really brassy job, and some people take it really personal, right? If you mess up their hair, they're coming after you.
Right.
So being able to have liability insurance. So is it my understanding that there's insurance that you have to
Yes, so
acquire?
LLC is one aspect of it. Another thing that you want to have is liability insurance, and that covers you from theft. If a storm were to come through and take all your things, it covers your equipment in the salon. So you don't want to work hard and build something and then it just be taken away from you. We've actually had theft, and I
Wow.
didn't have insurance, and it was like just a start over.
Wow. Wow. So what, from a cost perspective, what would you say like these, like a liability insurance costs, an average, maybe what someone
It
could be
depends,
looking
but
at?
it can go anywhere from $100 to $250 a month, depending on how big your salon is and the area of town. That's really important.
Okay. Area towns. So you started off at TSU and now you're over here on off of Alameda. Now Alameda is like the spot. Like there's a lot of traffic that comes here. Turkey Lake Hut, which is one of the biggest. When I first moved to Houston, I heard about the Turkey Lake Hut, and just knowing that it's really like a stone throw from here, that was kind of prime real estate. So
Yes.
how did you end up getting this spot?
Man, it was really just God, to be honest. I was driving down the street. Now, this is after I got the news that I needed to be out within 2 months. On top of that, COVID was the biggest thing out. So
Yes.
nobody was open. There was a lot of people staying home. So I'm just driving around doing my due diligence. I did have a realtor, but I needed to be looking for a place. So I was driving down this area, and I noticed that this place was vacant. There was no lease sign, no nothing. So I pulled in. I started asking the neighbors, like, do y'all have the number to someone? And it just happened to be available.
Wow.
And it just worked out.
So I'm hearing timing. Timing comes
Yes.
into it. Now, is there like a particular time of year that you would say like makes the most sense to maybe open a business, like particularly in the beauty industry?
Well, I will say this. For the beauty industry, it is a little slower during the summer.
Okay.
A lot of women wear braids. So I would definitely start around the holidays. Because, we want to look our best
Of
around the
course.
holidays. And that's a good time.
Nice. So kind of like circling back. So you talked about the LLC. Is there any cost to start an LLC?
Yes, there are some fees associated with it. If you do it yourself, of course, it's more cost effective. If you go through an attorney or a consultant, they do add on their own fees.
Now, what would be the perks between doing it yourself and going through an attorney? Like what, like pros and cons, I guess?
I think that doing it yourself, you're just hands-on. You know what is being filed, what it isn't. You're on your own time. When you hire someone, they're probably working with different entrepreneurs. It's just not it's not their business, so they're not really pressed to do it. So I would definitely take matters into my own hand and get things done.
What would you say is the estimated cost to maybe file an LLC?
I believe it was about $500 roughly with everything. There's a bunch of different filings that you have to do, but they all go together.
Okay. So switching gears, right? So now you have this establishment. That being said, were there any certifications or education components that you had to look into in order to, I guess, open your own establishment?
Yes. So, of course, to be a licensed stylist, you have to be a licensed stylist to work in a salon. You also have to have a salon license.
Wow.
So you go through TDLR to get all that done.
TDLR?
TDLR.
Okay.
But that's
What does that stand for?
Texas.
Girl,
Texas
I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm just trying to think. Because every state is gonna
Y'all
be different.
Google that. Make sure you Google that. Okay.
Every state is gonna have their own licensing department,
Right.
but you need to have a license with your respective state.
Yes.
Okay, to open a beauty salon, to
Yeah.
operate one.
But that was a piece of cake. The hardest part for me was moving into the salon and then not being a salon before. Is dealing with the city permits. That I
Permits.
want to say took about 7 months.
7 months.
7 months.
How did you keep your doors open and you didn't have an established salon? It didn't look like this.
Well, luckily for me, who bought the building on next to TSU was TSU. So the day I heard the news, I walked over there to them, found the I don't know what office it was, but I found someone. I'm over there in tears, like,
Yeah.
this is my business. Can you give me a little more time? And lucky enough, they gave me more time.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to extend a few times because of the permitting situation, but it all worked out.
Nice. So as far as permits, what is the potential cost looking like?
Well, that can get pricey depending on where you start off. For me, we didn't have bowls or anything, so we had to do structural plumbing, electrical.
Wow.
So I want to say it was about 5 to 6.
5 to 6.
6,000.
Okay, 5 to 6. So potentially, so what I'm hearing is if you get a lease, this is at least I'm understanding. If you get a lease in a building that was not already designed to be a beauty salon, you're gonna have to pretty much put some money into it in order to get it to where it needs to be.
Yes, because TDLR requires you to have certain things in order for you to even get that salon license.
What can you tell the viewers what kind of things they can anticipate having to get?
Yes, so depending on how many people are going to be working there needs to be a certain amount of square footage. There needs to be a certain amount of space in the waiting room. Bowls have to be a certain width apart. Like
When you say bowls as in like
shampoo bowls.
Shampoo bowls. Okay.
Even the plumbing has to run a certain way. There has to be a certain type of drainage. You have to have ventilation system for whenever you're using different products. There's a lot that goes into it.
I see. I think a lot that goes into it that most people don't understand, right? They see hair and they're like, oh, I can do that, but
Yeah.
they don't understand all these like business administrative type components. Now, as far as I guess, so we talked about like the liability and the permits that are potentially required. Now, that being said, you ended up in this building. How did you conceptualize design when it comes to getting a business or establishing a business? Design has a lot to do with it. When people walk in, design is either going to make or break it. So how did you conceptualize the design?
Well, I actually hired an interior designer.
What?
Yeah, I had to because my last salon, it was really nice. I still get compliments on it, but the way things flow, I left that to a professional.
Yeah. Do you mind plugging who you use?
Yes, LA Designs.
LA Designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful,
She
beautiful
did an
design.
amazing job. And of course, an interior designer gets your vision and just makes it come to life. So I told her the kind of setup, but she went in and just added the beautiful details.
Nice. So when it comes to hiring people underneath you, this is there's people have choices. So how do you get people to, recruit people?
Yeah, this is a very competitive industry. There's a salon right across the street, actually. So what I like to do is I kind of recruit on social media. I look for girls that are in school, fresh out, and I just kind of contact them, have them visit the salon. A lot of times I just do a lot of promotion. I make sure that the work I put out is really good, and it attracts a certain type of stylist that sees your vision and wants to work with you. So it can be hard, but if you set the standard of what you're looking for, they'll come.
Well, speaking of people seeing your vision, when you get people that come in, right, especially the new stylists, and they're really eager, I think sometimes people try to hold people back, right? They want you working for them and they see your talent, but then at the same time, if you want to expand and grow, a lot of times people discourage that. So
Right.
how do you, I guess, as far as like a business owner, encourage other people to kind of grow within their trade without feeling like you're holding them back?
Well, I'm all about growth. From where I started, like I said, I didn't know anything about hair, and I now have a full clientele. So I love to see someone develop and get better as they go. I feel like that's my motto. I'm always pushing my stylists. This is a commissioned stylist, so that's why I say I find girls that are in school. I teach them everything that I know. I encourage them to take 2 classes a year that the company pays for. So I'm
Nice.
all about growth. I've never really had a problem with that.
So I'm hearing if you want to recruit people, you kind of got to give back too.
Yes.
So that includes continuing education, helping them hone their craft.
And
Love
not
it.
only that, but if you're, like I said, I set a certain standard. I look for a certain type of clientele. I have to put out a certain type of work. I also need my stylist to put out certain type of work.
Absolutely.
So it benefits me to show them everything that I know.
Absolutely. What kind of qualities do you look for as a business owner for like people coming underneath you? Because a lot of times people will just take whoever comes, to them because
Yes.
it is so competitive.
Yes.
So how do you?
I will say in the beginning, I had that problem too. I was looking for stylists, and I would just let anybody come work, and that would hurt my brand. Their vision wasn't my vision, so that's when we did have the conflict. Them wanting to come in and kind of go their own way. I don't mind a stylist growing and going their own way, building their brand, but it still has to align with mine. I look for professionals. Professional meaning punctual. You're dressed a certain way to work. You are interacting with your client a certain way. Because I attract a high-end clientele, so I need somebody who understands that. And I got really selective towards the end, and once I did that, things just really started moving forward.
You basically you get what you pay for is what I'm hearing. That being said, speaking of pay for, a lot of people want to know when it comes to opening your own salon, do you fund it yourself? Do you get a business loan? What route did you go?
So with me, my dad passed a few years ago, and he did leave me some money, so I took that and started my first salon with it.
Nice.
Of course.
I mean, sorry for the loss, but
Thank
like you
you.
took that money and you
Turned
like
it into
invested it.
Yes, I did. And so with that one, I was able to start like that. But whenever I moved here, I was there 6 years. So when it was time to move here, of course, it's a better area. Of rent is going to be more. So I did, go to the bank, get a loan. Luckily, my credit was pretty good. So as an entrepreneur, you also want to make sure that you're keeping up with your credit. You're not getting in debt, because I will say the only way that your business will grow is with more money. And I'm not just talking about money that you're saving. You need money to invest in product. You need money to invest into your equipment. So credit is a big priority.
Yeah, so, and I think there's this misconception that people think that they can just jump into business credit, but it's your personal credit that banks and other people that are looking at lending you money, they're looking at your personal credit to get an indicator as far as like what kind of pay, are you going to pay your money back, the money that they lend you back.
Right.
So that's what I'm hearing is important. Now that being said, like that was more so like when you like got to like you were looking at expanding a next level. But when you started at the other building, yes, I understand like your dad, gifted, you some money that you later invested into that. Going into that, like what are some things that you think are really important for people that are trying to open a salon? What are some equipment and things like that they should probably invest in?
Definitely styling chairs, quality hot tools. The products that you're using in the hair, they make a big difference. And that's why you'll see a lot of times people that are doing hair at home, there's just something, a finishing look that is missing off of their style is because they're getting the same products that the client is able to go get at the beauty supply. When you become a licensed stylist, you have access to a professional beauty supply where clients can't go there. You have to have a license to shop there. And those products are a bit more expensive, but it takes a hairstyle from here to here, so I would definitely invest in your product. Invest in yourself, invest in your craft. I've been a stylist for 4 years now, and I still take classes. I'm still looking for new techniques. I'm always learning. This industry, there's always something new, and you have to stay on top of it because people want the new.
Yeah. Well, let me, because I'm doing a little math here, because you were 6 years at the other location, but you yourself have been a stylist for 4 years. Make it make sense.
Well, when I opened, I didn't do hair. I didn't know anything about being a stylist, owning a salon. So I kind of went in, I just jumped in head first. And I had a building, I didn't have stylists, so I had to hire a stylist. I only knew how to sell hair. That's it.
Right.
And
right.
I would hire stylists. It was a really hard time for me because I would hire stylists, and once they found out that I didn't know what I was doing, it was a wrap.
Blind trying to leave the seat. I don't want to say like they're blind because they went to school and whatnot.
Right.
So,
but they would take advantage of the situation. You know, I would go recruit clients to come in. They wouldn't show up, so I'd be there, me and the client. I don't know how to do hair. I just have to be like, I'm sorry, I gotta reschedule you. And I just got tired of that, and I just jumped in. There was 2 stylists that were working with me, and they really helped me. They taught me everything they knew, and between them and YouTube, that's how it took me. About year 2, I started taking clients.
nice. So that being said, so are you a licensed stylist or are you a business owner? Like what?
Yes, so I am a licensed stylist. In the beginning, my friend and I, the one that was going to open the business with me, we actually both went to hair school.
Okay.
We were going to Highway 6. I would pick her up and we would drive all the way to Highway 6. But me knowing that I didn't want to be a stylist, I was like playing at school. I would hide in the restroom during theory. And it was like a really laid back school, so they didn't even really catch me. But so I knew like the book basics, but as far as like braiding, and I didn't know any of that.
Wow. So you had to teach yourself in order to keep
I
your
did.
doors open.
I did.
And here you are today. We're at Complete Beauty Bar. It is a complete like beauty just to look at. The aesthetics, the vibe that as soon as you walk in the door, it's just kind of very inviting. The purple and it gives me a sense of royalty. I love everything about
Thank you.
about your brand and where you're going. And I have no doubt whatsoever that it's only a matter of time before it's like, you know, months out, you know, before it's booked. So what's next? What are some things, additional products that people maybe like starting, like you said, you're a complete beauty bar. So that being said, what are some things that you've gotten underneath you that you sell, additional products?
We have all styling products. So we do your hair, we maintain it here, but we want to equip you with things that you can take home and maintain your own hair. So we have all the professional products here. We have a room for an esthetician. I am looking for an esthetician, a lash tech. So we're definitely growing. We got some things in the works. We have a big sale coming up next month.
Okay. We like a good sale. Yes. Okay.
That we do every year. And I'm also rebranding my hair, my extensions of beauty. So definitely look out for that. It's raw virgin hair, Indian hair, and it's really good.
Nice. So I'm hearing bundles. I'm hearing you about to have lashes up in here. You already got a barbershop back there. So what's next? Are you going to be doing master classes and hair seminars? I want to know so I can sign up.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to do a master coloring class.
Oh, yeah. Girl, you can color some hair, okay? Shameless plug. I'm telling you, I'm loving this color. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. That's my specialty. I really enjoy just the whole transformation process. You start off with just brown hair, and there's so many things you can do with it. So I do have a lot of education on that. So I do want to teach other stylists, because in the Black community, I feel like we kill some weaves, we kill natural hair, but we really haven't dove into the technique of coloring. So I would love to just share what I know.
Well, I'm super excited, you know, like I said, I'm going to sign up, not for me, but I just want to be able to see for myself, like what the process looks like. So looking at your total cost, what would you say is a person can expect to spend going into the business, like starting out?
Well, I think that's kind of a hard question to answer, because it depends on what are you doing? We have stylists that go and rent out a suite, and they call that their salon. For me, I went with the storefront route. So I would say anywhere from 30 to 40K to get if you're building out a salon, you know, to get all your equipment, stuff like that.
30 to 40K for building out a salon. Now, you did talk about like people have like individual suites. What can they expect for that to something like that to
I've
cost?
never done that. I do have some stylist friends that have. I want to say that they probably pay a weekly $500, and you can just move into that ready. You know, if you have your clientele, you can just start paying your weekly. I'm pretty sure they do like a first and last month's rent, so probably about roughly $1,500 with your product and everything, if you want to go that route.
Okay, so maybe $1,500 a month for a suite, but you're gonna make that up more or less. Like if you got clientele, you're gonna make that up in sales and things like that.
Right.
Especially
And
if you're.
I definitely, I would definitely suggest somebody starting there. Because like I said, I dove in head first and I had a lot of obstacles come my way. I think if I would have went that route, I would probably be further along than I am now.
Oh, well, I mean, just looking around here, don't look like you're doing too bad. I'm just saying. I guess for the one thing that I want to say, especially touching bases on for people that are maybe looking at like $1,500, like I ain't got that kind of. Good Lord, that's a lot of money. I want to say like people can sublease. There's different things that people can do. You know, just to establish their clientele. At the end of the day, action is what determines whether someone is successful or not. A lot of people have a great idea or they have a really great talent, but then they sleep on it because they think money. At the end of the day, if you build it, they will come. And so that's the component that I really want to make sure that people understand. Like, what would you say for the aspiring stylists out there?
Absolutely.
That's on the verge.
I will say Instagram, social media, all these platforms, these free platforms that we have, you need to overload with all your work. I don't care if it's the smallest thing you're doing, post it, hashtag. I will say that single-handedly took my business to the next level. Just always sharing what I'm doing, and also asking for models. You know, I'm doing this new style. I'm only charging $20. You know, it sounds like you're doing a lot of work, but you need that practice. You need to have that material, that content. And if you're a new stylist, no one's going to come sit in your chair unless you're either offering something for free or half off, or, you know, you have to definitely give a lot in the beginning. But social media, always share your work. Don't be scared. I know a lot of stylists want to wait for that perfect picture. Oh, this is missing. No. Just put it out there, and you'll see your growth over time.
Yeah.
It's funny. The other day I was on Instagram and I scrolled back to my first picture, and I cringed.
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
I was like, what was that? But I had to be thankful. Like, wow, I've come a long way. So just show what you got.
Show what you got. You've come a long way, and it only goes up from here. Well,
Yes.
Katie, it's been a true pleasure interviewing you today.
Thank you.
For those out there, aspiring stylists that are, you know, looking to take their, you know, their dreams to reality, you know, change your life, start your beauty business, act now. So till next time, take care, be well.